So I guess their Solo did not survive in the marketplace. I think it's bye-bye. This is like its successor, and the SP stands for Striker Pistol.
Striker Pistol.
It weighs, on my scale, 20.5 ounces, the Kimber EVO SP, and it is actually a pretty interesting pistol. Okay, here in the project, what do we talk about a lot? SAWC, right? Like, that's my mantra. Size and weight constraints, true or false?
Yep.
Always ranting about it. This is not the lightest weight or the highest firepower pistol out there. It's actually kind of heavy for what it is, and it's rounds limited. It's 7+1, and you might go, well, that's interesting because it isn't Kimber taking a step backwards. In my opinion, let me know what you think, Doodle. The answer is no. Kimber is actually cutting edge in making this pistol. The move now, from what I can detect, is that some people have such a hard time shooting a Glock 43, some lightweight polymer pistol, they can't hit with it, that they've actually requested for something heavier. I didn't know this until last year. And apparently there's market research out there, and they say, well, let's do something not totally heavy, but a bit heavier with a really good trigger on it, very compact, very slim. The slide on this EVO SP is only 0.92 inches in thickness. The overall width is only 1.03 by my measurement. So it's still extremely compact. You can see it fits in the palm of my hand, almost literally, and yet it's 20.5 ounces. But the Kimber EVO is a gun you can actually hit with. Imagine that, because of the weight. I think this is cutting edge in some ways for some shooters. And the shooters I'm talking about are ones that have difficulty shooting the lightweight subcompact polymer pistols like the Glock 43 I just showed you. This one's hot, coming out of system. And another one we have on tabletop. Sometimes they're just hard to hit with, especially if you don't practice with them very frequently, which is about 100% of everyone. True or false?
Yeah, I don't know many people that go out and shoot their carry pistol with defensive ammo in it.
Right.
It's one thing to do light, easy FMJ, but then you start throwing like, oh yeah, I'll load plus P's in.
Nobody does that.
No one different monster.
Well, we have an LCP2 in 22 standby for the tabletop review. All the testing is complete on this one. This is a great example. What do you think? Easy to shoot? Hard to shoot?
It's
the
easier
LCP2.
than competitors.
Pretend this is in 380. Can you hit easily with this? I'm talking an average shooter.
No.
It's difficult, or let's say more difficult. I think the LCP2 series as a whole is, for a small compact pistol, is the best. I mean, it is really, if you have good mechanics, you can hit with it nicely. And I have a lot of paper showing that. But for the average shooter, it wiggles around a lot. Lightweight. Add a couple more ounces like this one, the EVO SP. It's a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. And I think, again, Kimber's onto something here. Yeah. You might see some other manufacturers come out with slightly heavier pieces. How do I feel about it for my carry options? Well, I'll say it right here. I still like maximum SAWC. Something like this. I'll take fewer ounces because I'm an experienced shooter. I train all the time. You know, I'll take this. You know, for a carry piece. P365, G43, Glock 48, that. But, you know, that's me. That's me. Other folks will go, yeah, I need more weight. Now, you're going to love this part. You ready? We're kind of going into philosophy of use here a little bit with the EVO SP. And what I'm getting ready to describe is my own son holding the pistol, Tactical Doodle. He's like this, and he doesn't know I'm getting ready to say this. A second cool carry piece. And you're totally that way. Doodle will carry things that are really not that practical or not that modern, and yet he loves them. A case in point is a PPK.
Yep.
What's another one? PPS. Mm-hmm. Not maximum rounds. Not the lightest. What's a PPS weigh?
The first gen
22 and a half, 23.
It's got the same footprint as a Glock 26.
But you love it.
Yeah, carry it all the time. Yeah, it's kind of it reminds me of barbecue guns. For some reason, that's a somewhat derogatory term, but Kimber is very much It's a carry piece that you're willing to bring out and show people. I could show someone an LCP and go, dude, check this out.
That's what
but
barbecue
it has
pieces.
Yeah.
That's right, I hadn't heard
Because
that.
supposedly, like in Texas, you go and you bring your
gun
gorgeous...
talk.
Yeah.
It's gun talk.
Yeah. And this kind
and
of...
then an AD happens and someone gets sued.
It's fine. He's an orthodontist. He can handle it.
Roger that.
It's kind of interesting, though, because this reminds me of the earliest carry pistols. Like the FN 1910,
Right.
the Colt, the hammerless, all those... You know, it's heavier.
Or
but
the
it's,
Star.
Yeah.
No, what was that other one? There's
Star
another
had a
one. One in the 90s. I'll try to think of it. But yeah, it's kind of circling back to that.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
It's got the same feel. So if you ever picked one up and you go, oh, this is kind of cool.
Okay, hang on to that thought. So it's a second cool piece, and along those lines, we'll put in shootability because it really dovetails into what we're talking about. So second cool dovetailing into the smoothness of the Kimber EVO 9.
When you're going fast,
yeah,
right?
I could see this
You
gun
slow it down.
selling very well
Long.
on those qualities alone. A little bit heavier, easier to shoot, second cool factor. Yeah, there's guys that will like that. We're going to mention a couple competitive options, but I don't think there's a lot. Small, super compact 9mm that are striker fired.
Yeah, that part threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's just another micro, isn't it?
That's
Nope.
Kimber like changed it up from the seller. Like, yeah, we'll do a striker fired. Yeah, so philosophy of use, carry pistol, obviously, but a second cool carry pistol that just makes you smile, much like your watch of the day, which, by the way, for me is a Seiko SRP something something something. Seiko 5 Sports with a pure black hands modification. I love this watch.
I like those.
So I painted the seconds hand red. The hands are pitch black now, so I can see them against that beautiful tangerine orange face, and I've got a leather NATO strap on here. Kind of like that. So I've been wearing this all day, and every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I love that watch. I love that watch. It cost me like $100.
And that's kind of I think the buyer for this, more often than not, wouldn't want to carry a Glock. There's some,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Like, he not the kind of guy that owns a hockey jersey to go grocery shopping it. He has a certain kind of...
For whatever reason,
has
he wants something different. Or maybe he does have a Glock, but in his carry piece, he wants something different.
I like
It's all. Show him what you're wearing, by the way. The watch. This is a hands modded, nothing fancy. Big Parnas, as Tactical says. And that's our beautiful blonde bombshell right there.
That's pretty cool.
Being occluded by the hands. I did that. That's nose art. On we go with philosophy of use. How about recreational gun? I would say yes.
Yeah, it was
Definitely.
way more recreational
Than you would
some
think.
of its competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I would be happy to give this to a new shooter. Yeah, let's shoot. They would enjoy it. Unlike something like an LCP2. If you
They're going to be missing with that a lot.
well, I've noticed
Unless you really train them up on mechanics.
if you don't have a shooter, then they don't like. They complain about pain all the time.
With an LCP2?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
After
I haven't ran into
20,
that yet.
30 rounds.
That's
It
bad.
kind of hurts. It's snappy.
Philosophy of use, women's gun. Here, I'm going to go out on a limb and probably say no. If you're a female TMPer and you have a Kimber EVO SP, please say so and comment. But from what I have seen from your mother and from her sister and some other test subjects, they hate heavier pistols. The lighter, the smaller it can be, the more they're likely to put it in their purse. I'm just speaking from experience. So I would say probably not. And we're talking empty. You load it up, it's going to be like 27 ounces, and to them, that's like a brick. They're like, I'm not carrying that.
Not to mention spare mags.
Yeah, home defense, I would say no. There's no pick rail. It's subcompact. Maybe vehicle gun, backpacking gun, I would say absolutely not. It's too heavy. There's a lot of lighter options out here. Again, this weighs half an ounce. The LCP 22 version. I think the LCP, by the way, LCP2 380 is amazing.
It's
for
fantastic.
Albeit it's a 380.
Function-wise, it's hard to beat how light and how powerful that little thing is.
When you say backpacking gun, guys go, oh, bear. No, I'm talking humans.
Yeah.
With COVID going on right now, there are people everywhere in all corners. Your biggest threat is a bad guy out in the woods now. Philosophy of use, we'll call it done for now. By the way, on the table is a SAWC Flash AT.
Interesting.
Look at this. This is a new variation from SAWC. I'll put a link below. Stand by for the tabletop review. It is pretty cool. Bit heavier than I would like. End of things I don't like about the SAWC Flash AT. Look at the carry clip. Blade shape is perfect. Cryoed D2. pretty cool. I guess you could have an upgraded handle scale. So that's ITEL, it looks like. Basic. And then we have previously reviewed, highly recommended, the G-Shock GA2000 series, which comes in some fabulous colors.
One of the coolest. That's probably the most popular, more technical flavored G-Shock.
Oh, I love this. It comes in tan,
so
too.
many of those running around.
Really? And it has a core carbon guard or carbon core guard sandwich construction I talked about in the review. Have I posted that review, by the way?
I think so.
I don't know if I have.
Seems familiar.
And it's got the Durasoft strap on it. It's just a really cool watch, and it's cheap. Dude, when I bought this, it was $130. Now they're like down to 90.
Sweet.
All kinds of cool colors. On we go with the tabletop review. Features. Okay, let's talk about things we don't like. And there are a couple things about the Evo SP. You go first. What do you not like? You were shooting it. We actually got back yesterday from an outing, and there was something about this gun you were complaining about. Tell them what it was.
This is it.
It wasn't locking back on an empty mag. I could have done
True.
that.
Right. Now, you weren't riding this, were you? Did you have your thumb up here? So that was an annoyance. I will say, as I've said in some other GRVs, that is kind of commonplace.
Yeah.
I see that with a lot of guns, and no, it's not because we're shooting like that. It just happens. I don't know why. So it didn't lock back on an empty mag. How about this part right here? Did you dig it?
I hate it, and so many carry guns do it.
I know. You know what we're talking about, dudes, right? We hate slanted front grips. Let's see that LCP2 again. This is done pretty much correctly. And look, there's some serrations on it. This is a polymer frame. This is an aluminum frame.
Hook forward a little bit more, though.
Anything but that slanted, and there's no traction attempt whatsoever.
Nothing.
We have some amazing front strap checkering on the Evo SP, but none on the front part of the trigger guard. Okay, I don't like that either. So I hate this portion right here. Is it a deal killer? You'll have to wait and see.
Depends.
Show them one that gets it right. That one there.
I think this is closer to my ideal.
Agree.
When you have a slant there, it just feels like when you're holding it, because this I can brace. I can brace and pull back.
Right.
And so you see kind of this thing. You're able to really hunker down. When it's a slope, it feels like it's riding up and out of your hands.
Right, and exactly. So, but let us say this, that we stand pretty much in opposition to the rest of the gun world, because we do use our index finger on the front of the trigger guard, as discussed about 15 billion times, and we will continue to do so. No one else shoots that way. It's just you and I. Most will go like this. Thumb forward, you'll lock this in, and in that case, I think you can't see it right angled because of the camera and tripod. You get the picture though. And with that, people won't care.
Yeah.
So for you guys watching this video, you probably won't give a crap at all about that. But if you shoot like us, you're going to care about it a lot, especially for an expensive pistol like this. And it is a bit pricey. We may get to that. So we didn't like that. Didn't lock open last shot, even though that kind of jumped ahead of how it shot. Aluminum frame. So that's where you're getting your weight from. So that is, in this pistol, we're saying a good thing, because we're acknowledging that this is kind of a select carry piece. Enough said. If you're looking for something with aluminum frame, this might be it. How about the slide? Do you like it?
Yeah. Show
them that custom one. So the custom Evo SP is different. It has something called a Stiplex slide. The milling is different. So TD is going to show you on his screen, and then maybe I roll in a picture too. So that is a custom shop variation. It's going to be different. It has different milling. I look at that and I don't say, "Oh, that's awesome." I just look at it and go, "Okay, it's different.
It's cool."
It looks mimmed to me, even though I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it is. I forgot to check that, by the way. I would just go with the standard version. These slide serrations are perfect.
I feel like you get more purchase on these, what with it a straight line and all. The other one would have to be a really aggressive, deep cut with a lot of stuff sticking out.
Right.
In which case you're tearing up holsters and pants. And
they have recesses on that other slide that maybe gives you traction. We didn't shoot that one, so we don't really know.